Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. Fratelli, the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast.
Welcome, buonasera, benvenuti from the kitchen of our nice bed and breakfast for the day, for the last night in Genova. Of course, we were at the stadium. Mike, how are you? I know already how are you? Pretty good, because at the end,
we won.
we won, of course, so that it's great. Guys, tell us if the audio is good, but probably we cannot do much more than this. So hope it's going to be good for today. And here we are. So we are in Genova, on top of the hill, on top of Marassi, on the stadium Luigi Ferraris.
We're in Everest, basically.
Yes.
Like, we had to call base camp, the rescuers earlier.
It's all steps. This city is all steps, and it's a labyrinth, but it's okay. And wow, man. Oh, first of all, it's the first time together on the pod, like like from a house, not maybe from the stadium like we did before. So we did like a quick preview from the media area in the stadium, and we were quite lucky to for a few minutes interview with Paolo Garbisi. He's gonna be out soon. Hi guys, ciao Sol Invictus. And this is all the situation that goes around. Also, Sol is saying that on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, on Twitter. Big stuff coming the next days. Actually, yesterday too, with a new assembly at the federation. New changes. Go check on our Twitter, and we're gonna have a special pod all about that in the next future. Probably just after the Outdoor Nation Cup finish, after the next game. Let's go into the game because we chat too much about everything else. Okay, a win is a win. That's what we said to Paolo Garbisi, right, at the beginning. So a win is a win. We take the win. Step forward, step backward. How to understand a game like this? It was a weird game, if you think. Like 2 opportunities from Georgia taken, and then 255 tackles from Georgia and 78 tackles from us.
Yeah. So it's a tough one, right? Because we really did actually dominate large proportions of that game. Like if you look at the stats obviously say, I think we ended up in 68% possession. So we're clearly obviously playing the ball. Unfortunately, what we had was a really stony, resilient Georgia team who obviously stifled our opportunities, and we need to be better at taking them. Obviously, 15 entries as well. In the 22, we just need to be slightly more efficient. I think that's the word of the day, right?
Yeah, look, the carries, 60 carries for them. Again, more than double by the Azzurri, 30 tackle breaks. We absorb a lot of players. Stats don't lie about this. 6 offload. We did 10% of dominant tackles in defense. 10%, 7 tackles out of 78 tackles that we did against the Georgians. Was a really nervous game too, specifically in the first half, when Cannone went to learn a little bit of Georgian, maybe about Cacciapuri. I don't know what they were saying each other. Maybe the Fiorentina wasn't cooked too much. Who knows what happened there?
But I've got a theory. They're just trying to clean each other's shirts.
Right. I say, you know what? Clean a little bit more.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you know what? Like, it's one of those where we were fortunate enough to be part of the media team. We went into the media pass afterwards, and I think there was quite staunch sort of reaction to it, which I thought was quite surprising. We won a game which we dominated for large proportions, and in a different day, we probably, or a different year, we probably would have lost it. So there's lots of good that came out of today, as much as people are going to look at we beat Georgia by 3 points and we should really have been taking them to the sword a little bit more. But one thing that we didn't do particularly well, which was completely in our control, is I think we made some rash decisions about when we should be kicking to 3 and when we potentially, right at the start, I think, we didn't show them enough respect.
You're talking specifically in the first half when we had the opportunity to take the 3 points, 6 points. Then we missed another kick with Gallagher in the first half. So probably those were situations where we can, how you were calling it, the score pressure.
Yeah,
just putting points there and everything. Absolutely. Is it something like to work on? The attack has to keep working, but I suggest you guys to listen the conference of Quesada that give us a little bit more insight about what was this game and the next games and what they're trying to do. And also interesting because was their Lamaro today and was Nacho Brex.
Yes.
So that's it. Yeah, I think that's nothing news for us. And actually, defensively, that is like a line mistake, I think, more than Gusen. Gusen was good, really good in the last 2 games last year, already changing something. We did 17 dominant tackles last week against Argentina, was the top of the 2024 for us, which so means that we even tackled more than with Gusen in the last 2 games.
There's also, just on that point, very quickly as well, there's more than just tackling in the defence, which I think actually we did really, really well. So like stifling their attack, we were getting turnovers in the right positions of the pitch, which I thought, we never really did before.
A lot of stuff. Let me just repost this on. We dominated by the game, but we was losing. We weren't mentally in the match. Multiphase was very unpredictable. Plus, we were knowing that it was better than us on kicking game. On catching ball in the air, more than kicking game, I guess, because they were able to counterattack. And the 2 phases, wonderful tries, guys. The Georgians' second try did bite so much on Brex going and on the tackle, and there is the axial that come in after the loop of Lobanidze. So there was good stuff from them, but there wasn't enough from Georgian, because then the second half was defense actually from them, and even too much defense. What I want to say about this: offside, slowing ball, before the yellow card for the Ninja for them, and the penalty try. Actually, I was waiting for actually a yellow card for them after repeated infraction in the own 22 in defense, because they were like, it was the 3rd, 4th time, every time was offside the problem. Of course, that is
just quickly on that point again, if I can. So you're speaking about the kicking. Quesada actually said it in the post-match, where we identified that we were getting better field position when we were kicking. So, at the start, and I spoke to Otto like as the game was going, I thought, why are we kicking to Niniashvili, who's one of the best sort of counter-attacking fullbacks in the top 14?
It's great, but he was so great in the first half. He wasn't that completely full 100% game from him. Maybe also more tired. What makes me crazy this game where they lose of time every time on the ground, actually, from the Georgian, what I wasn't expecting from them, fighters like that, and getting a lot of time on the ground waiting. Even Lobanidze, when he get out, the ref said to him, no, go out, come on, you were walking outside, keep doing it. 2 good line, good try, let's say 2 line breaks, really clever line breaks. We are struggling, what Quesada said. Okay, so for the one that they didn't watch the press conference, which is on the Italian Federation YouTube, he spoke about the team we are. We are not that heavy, corrosive team. We need speed. And of course, Georgia was ready for that kind of fight in the breakdown and in defense, because they tackle so much. So we have to arrive with speed, and we can score after line break with speed more than okay, pick and go, pick and go, pick and go. We cannot do that now. So probably this is the big questions that Quesada is trying to address for this team. Other point, we won with a Fusco that scored a nice try. Organize, go to the 10, attack the 10 in that way is the, let's say, is the most physical number 9 we have at the moment. Maybe not the fastest, but is the most physical of them. And also, we try in many ways to also to do different kind of kicks. We saw Brex kicking behind, we saw Gallagher, but for me, most important, we lose Lamaro early in the game. No Ruzza. New captain, usually Lamar is always in the field. Lambo was really good, the guy that took Ruzza's spot this week, which is interesting to think like a player of the match like that. Vincent get in the team because there was the injury for Lorenzo Cannone. He was good. He was good on that. So probably something, let's say, something could have been better, of course, but we cannot win all the games 30 points, 10, because we are not that team still, and we are not the team that is completely done, experienced, with the quality so strong. So when you find fighters in the breakdown and everything, for me, you get that win, good. Let's face the next, which is going to be really tough against New Zealand. Talking a lot, Mike.
Yeah, I no, you're fine. I think the point that you raised is probably the most important one, where you said a leader left, and we've always had that question of who is going to be that person that steps up and who's able to really sort of lead the team. And actually, I thought, throughout the games, leaders emerged, and Gallagher came up, and Gallagher's quite new to this team, and he really showed, honestly, like quite a lot of class throughout the whole game. Obviously, he was quite unfortunate not to score a try, but just the level of effort they put in. And, we talked about the carries. Georgia had 70 carries. Seb Negri had 28, just alone. And these players put their body on the line. You can start seeing them. Dino Lamb was fantastic. Vincent, fantastic. And sometimes, you need that really sort of articulate and well-versed leader who can, stoke a fire in your belly. Sometimes you just need to say, to see someone who's happy to, jump down into the pits of hell, and you want to follow them. And I think, a lot of the players that we just spoke about were exceptional today. And again, you look at a result and you like ours, 3 points, or I say I think a lot of the Italian fans saw that result like, yeah, that's unacceptable. But actually, that mars a lot of the great play and the great sort of work that the forwards and a lot of the other players put in whilst there was a leadership void.
Georgia was 40 giri, physically very good, but they played at 15 minutes of incredible intensity. Absolutely. A few teams in the world can keep that up too. They talk in the, actually, Brex mentioned the Uruguay game where we were down in the first half and then we fight back in the second half in a great way. So I think that is true. It's pretty similar to that. Of course, without those yellow card that we got at the Rugby World Cup, because there was crazy couple of them. And even more penalties, I guess, Beniamino, because you're talking about they start conceding a lot of penalties. Yes, even few, let's say, they should have been penalized more on that side. Actually, I think that 100%, I'm going to talk about O'Keefe anymore, because that is not for me. So we have to find the right way to create the last track to be the fastest we want, because the problem for us was due to the Georgian able to slow down our ball. Quick ball, you need the one to pull the trigger in attack, and we were not able to use it fastly, constantly. The pressure there was, I said that to Paolo Garbisi, how do you manage that? So watch out for the videos coming tomorrow of this quick interview we did in the mixed zone with him. A lot to learn, and we were expecting this game for this, let's say, for not for the season, but this autumn session, like a game that we want to win. And honestly, no matter how, I want to win against Georgia. I want to win against Argentina. I want to win with everybody, but cleverly, the other team, Argentina, was better last week. I don't think Georgia at the end was better than Italy.
They weren't.
They scored the opportunity. They was really clinical on that, because they were able to score, but we start to keep it up.
If we've been objective, right, and we have to be really honest here, right? Georgia, I first of all credit to those tries. They were
Fantastic,
stunning, but that's really all they did in the game. There was one opportunity where a ball, where the ball was getting passed out and it gets volleyed, and Garbisi has to backtrack, and then obviously he manages to get in R22. That's the only other time I think the ball entered R22, and it was off like a fluke kick that could have gone anywhere. We were so efficient going up the field. I just feel like we falter at that last little bit of quality. Again, like sometimes it's highlighting some of the issues that you're encountering if you feel like stuff is verging on more of the illegal side. But that's neither here nor there. We need to be responsible for finishing our opportunities, and I think that the scoreline didn't really reflect how dominant we are, and I think we were, like I said, a little bit naive at the start, but as soon as we started to come back into it, we started to make some really smart decisions on when to kick, when to potentially go play quick, do all of those things. We were making some smarter decisions, and then obviously that's what equated to the win.
Georgia 6 entries in the 22, Italy 15, an average point scored 1.3 for Italy, 2.8 from Georgia. Penalty try, not the best try for us, right? We scored better try. But we take this, and now we have a big mountain to climb, which is not this apartment on top of the hill of Genova.
There's snow up here.
Yeah, and it's going to be the 3-2 against New Zealand next week. So, of course, they're taking notes of what to do. Actually, it was funny to see how before the game, when the video analysts were ready to, everything was set, they were looking at a couple of stuff of the New Zealand game just before the game to get ready to keep cutting and stuff, because tomorrow is another day where we have to try to understand how to limitare I danni. How you say limitare I danni?
No, I don't think we need to damage control.
Not damage control.
No, I don't think we need to damage control. I think what we need to do is play and impose our game. And if we lose, then we lose. Like, if we're going in with the mentality that we need to damage control, we're doing ourselves a disservice. We're a better team than that. We're a better team than the team that lost 90 points to them. And I think, we need to understand what they do well, what we do well. And I think actually there's opportunity there for us to score a few tries. And
two corner situation, Gallagher and the kick received by Monti, the two corners far away from us. Those were two situations where we should score. Actually, you mentioned a couple of times the blind side, another area where we should have been playing quickly there. A couple of times, Garbisino, because Sorin Victor was talking about Garbisino is not, but tell me who in our team at the moment, because we have one guy that is playing a couple of games now, which is Varney. We have Fusco. He did his job in the last 20 minutes. Probably it suits him really well, that kind of game, when we were expecting him to start tackling more, be more physical, attacking the fringes around the rack. And we saw a couple of stuff of that. But still, Georgia was really, really good, but for me, honest game, and the result showed that. Not for the beauty of the try, but what you try to do. Because if not, we can say like it's contropiede catenaccio, to use soccer calcio ideas. No, counter attack, kinda couple of situations where you can score, and then defense, but you cannot leave.
You can't park the bus in rugby. I don't think that exists. I think
No, you cannot.
You can get
You're
lucky.
always exposed to.
Well, this goes back to the England discussion that a lot of fans have been having when they've been going, getting up on the scoreboard, and then the 60-minute. Like, rugby's not a game. Even the best defensive teams, like, you can't defend, prolonged periods, and I'm talking about 20+ minutes without conceding. And I don't think I don't think Georgia tried. Well, in fact, I know Georgia didn't, because Cockrell said it in the post-match. He said that we imposed our game plan and they didn't. So what he meant by that is they wanted to play with the ball. Obviously, they didn't want to defend a small lead. They wanted to score more. But we executed our game plan more effectively than they did in the second half. And obviously, that's why we have a 68 and 78% territory. Some ridiculous territory stats. Here we go, Statman. And I can see how Statman operates here.
Okay, here scoring.
There we go. 79%. I wasn't far off.
Territory 79%, 68 possession, balls played, 454 situation passes, 143 for them, kicking 35-28. Quesada, I'm asking you to go and watch the press conference. He said about like the position, where was Niniashvili, so they know what can be, what was the challenge there and the duel. Yeah. We know how was there. He lost a couple of situations, a couple of turnovers actually. From a couple of balls.
Just to expand on what Otto said as well, Quesada said we were getting traction out of the kicking because it was manipulating where their defence was, which meant that we had an opportunity to attack. However, the ball wasn't necessarily clean. Maybe mistakes on our side, maybe some rugby IQ on their side. We weren't able to execute. Dark cards, yeah,
a lot of dark cards.
We weren't able to execute on that advantage that we had, where their defence wasn't set, it was disorganised. Whereas as soon as they saw the smallest door opening for us, bam, they were already on it. Everyone counter-attacked. They were so well organised in their counter-attack. And they were efficient with what they had. So I think maybe that's something that we can take as a learning into next week. Like, we need to be a little bit more like Georgia on the counter-attacks, because there was plenty of opportunities for us to do that. And maybe we need to be a little bit more like Georgia with the rugby IQ.
Of course, that always helps.
Yeah.
It's like that, like the number 5, and now I don't remember his name, how tough he was around the, let's say.
We should ask Nicolò. I'm pretty sure he would know.
Yeah.
They're good friends. Yeah.
Nicolò Cannone and the number 5 of Georgia. A couple of stuff too. Of course, we try to always keep positivity, because today, even at the press conference, a couple of situations where looked like we lost the game, and we are used to win 20 points every game. We won 3 Six Nations and 2 rugby championship.
Yeah.
And 1 World Cup. Seems like that. No, man. No, guys. We have to learn still with that. They're trying to move something to get ready, I think, more for our Six Nations next year. But happy to see Dino Lamb, operator in the lineout, really well.
Brilliant.
We struggle when Luke Casey came in. A couple of lineout bad decision there. A couple of penalties we get saved because they were invading the space in the lineout. A couple of situation there.
So just on the Dino Lamb stuff, I'm sure you guys who have watched noticed he was slotting in as like the +1 option on the second receiver so often. So it was, and like there was times where he was going from Trulas to Ioannis. He was full court game from him. So even the stuff that you wouldn't expect necessarily from a second row, like there's a reason why.
It's more than loose. It's really good on that. Good game by Ross Vincent, best tackler of the game for us. Out of 78 tackles, Ross Vincent, let's see, top player data. Georgia tackles for us, total tackle 13. For him, Giuliani 8, Negri 7, Cannone 7, Fischietti, Garbisi, and Nicotera 6.
How many turnovers from young Vincent as well? He was sensational.
So, turnover 1, best with 2. He stole those 2 bowling from the rack. He came out, he kicked once.
Yeah.
So, good stuff. Who considered most penalties? We didn't consider a lot of penalties, only 6 during the game. Ferrari 1, Dino 1, Vincent another 1, Menoncello, Spagnolo and Giuliani, if I am right around here. Turnover conceded, actually. Who conceded most turnover? Monti Ioane, which he tried to get involved, but not that much. And I think also our attack with, let's say, less, if you don't have players that love to run, but they are more of maverick, like Capuozzo, like maybe Trulla one day, maybe next game, maybe at the Six Nations, or maybe a Pani that is a kind of player that can do the stuff. With Gallagher, you're expecting other stuff.
Which he delivered on today.
Yes, that's of course, the try was up. What happened, guys? We didn't watch replays and everything. We just downloaded the game, so we're gonna see it in the next days. We have the experience of the stadium at the moment. We didn't have more to analyze, but for me, good stuff from him. Second game, he can be a really reliable, Mr. Reliability. He can be that kind of player anyway. A lot to talk. We see a lot talking with Trulla
coaching him. Yeah,
Trulla was a good game. That too. Then I think. More than that, what else we can add to the Josh? No, this guy. Yes, but not anymore.
Yeah, I think one thing I really want to emphasize is, I think so many Italian fans like disappointed. I just don't understand. Like, we need to respect the opposition, and we don't like. It's how that in the actual post match was like, we won the game. Like to everyone, he's like, you understand we won the game, right? Because the questions he was getting were like,
why we attack like this,
or like we didn't necessarily win as how we'd expect or how we won. Like, who cares? You adapt to the situation. Sometimes it's about winning. That's it. We got the win. Happy days. And I think if any of you guys are upset with how how potentially we won, then go back and watch Batumi. That's all I'll say to you. If you're concerned about winning, go back and watch England at the start of Six Nations. Like, let's go back and watch the games that we lost closely. If you're really that concerned about how we played, we won. Good. Now it's on to the next one. Let's take some key learnings. Let's be better next week. The players that we spoke to, really quite happy with, getting the win. Like,
getting the win,
yeah.
It's a W. What Fab said in the mixer, it's a W. It's a victory.
Yeah. Take the dub.
Get that. We are not still that team. Maybe one day we will, but let's take it. Let's take it, humble, and go. We still working on consistency. Yeah. We are still working on consistency, and that is all games and games. Honestly, I'm worried now. Lamaro out in the Benetton perspective. Actually, I was really worried if Giuliani was going out too, because come on, the 2 players out, it's la coperta corta.
Yeah,
in some way. Similar in the first half, actually. I think when we kick up there. And one of our tests should have been disallowed by holding the ball in the last track. Rugby is a game of fine margin sometimes. I don't remember that, man. Beniamino, ricordami quale situazione era questa. But at the beginning, looked like it because they have a really top 3 player with aerial skill like Niniashvili, and it's so fast. It's really fast. Actually, usually was crazy the way he cut through and then passed to Lobanidze for the try.
Yeah.
But hey, we're gonna kick also to who's gonna play. Will Jordan, Jordi Barrett, whoever is gonna Budon.
It doesn't get easier.
No, absolutely. But you have to kick too. You have to keep going up. And for me, it's better. Our defense usually forward, not in the 22. So for me, it's better every time if we are there, we can commit a little bit more penalties sometimes too. We can push backward, because if not, as Sala said, we are not like for la battaglia campale. We are not there to be in the World War One, meter after meter in attack, or maybe
war of attrition. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not our style. That's not our style. We want to play quick and super speed, to quote some players from a different country.
So, but anyway, we won against Georgia. Great. We lost badly against Argentina. Everybody's angry. We are angry too for that. So, of course, Ninashvili is top player. Probably next year he's not going to be in Toulon anymore. Maybe he's going to be in another big team. Today there was big Sergio Paris at the stadium. Talk about Toulon. We saw him. President was there, Vaccari was there, a lot of people, and Mike, I think that's it for today. For this game, right? Quick, still warm.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Still warm, and let's see how many. 119 people on X. Come on, put a follow so we can keep going on this and everywhere. So that's it for us. 10 o'clock in Genova. Tomorrow we go back. London, Bulgaria, crazy stuff. But it is. Forza Italia, ragazzi. And see you next week, or maybe the end of the week. Let's see. For the next game. Really tough one. We were live last time. These two teams play each other. Sad times. Hopefully no more. And watch out for the short clip of the interview with Paolo Garbisi in the mixed zone today. In English, actually. Great English, better than mine. Easy to be better than mine, but great English from Paolo Garbisi.
Yeah, and guys, if you can, do us a favor if you're watching from Twitter, if you can go over to YouTube and just give us a like and maybe, drop a comment. It helps. Obviously, it's just, few of us behind the scenes, and it really does help us. Like, it gets us under the right noses of people who might be interested in this stuff. So if you don't mind, go do that. Helps us all. And have a lovely night, everyone.
Ciao ragazzi, ci vediamo la prossima volta. See you next time. Go with this.
Fratelli, the rugby podcast. The Italian rugby podcast. Fratelli, the rugby podcast. The Italian rugby podcast. The Italian rugby podcast. The Italian rugby podcast.